Good morning, everyone who are here at 10 o'clock. We're starting the second day of our festival, Lecture Day, and let me introduce the first speaker, Igor Bezerev,
Hunter.
Internet investigator and IT hunter. Thank you very much. Thank you. In fact, I'm not just an IT, but just a hunter. So we'll spend about an hour talking about cryptocurrencies. So the topic is the following. So I have this pointer. It's not perfect, but I hope we're going to see something. So the first thing, positive technologies. I thank you for the invitation, for the organization. I was taking part in yesterday's events. There were about 15,000 people here, and I was I was suspecting that at the end of the standoff, they started to bring in draft letters here. Well, no, don't leave. Don't be afraid. They're not going to do it today. So because we've started such an important subject as draft letters and special military operation, all such important things, let's talk about cryptocurrencies as well. As you know, over the past year, the outflow of funds in cryptocurrencies grew by the factor of 2.5. And taking other interesting factors together, if you take all the cryptocurrency funds that are circulated in Russia and are used to commit crimes, to buy drugs, and such, to do hacking and other bad things, that amounts to about a quarter of the national budget of the Russian Federation, or the sum of budgets of such countries as Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. So therefore, it's important to deal with cryptocurrencies. And today, we'll try to consider an investigation of crimes related to cryptocurrencies from the viewpoint of the investigator. My name is Igor Bedirov. I work for T. Hunter, Internet Investigation, because they asked me to give the presentation in English. I'm showing English language blogs. There are also Russian blogs. I also have quite a lot of other offices. So together with the Academy of Management of the Ministry of Internal Affairs and the Moscow Academy of the Investigative Committee, so I'm working actively on investigating crimes related to cryptocurrencies. And in addition, I'm also a developer of the first service of investigating cryptocurrencies, SES. The service appeared in 2018, and I'm its co-developer. So what are cryptocurrencies? Well, perhaps all of you know. We can define them as a new type of digital financial assets that do not require an external regulator. The external regulator, if we normally compare it with banking transactions, so the external regulator is usually a central bank. Here, we don't have it. Cryptocurrencies are controlled publicly using the public ledger, which is called blockchain. And they're not controlled by anything else. So correspondingly, with regard to cryptocurrencies, we have to mention the following differences between them and traditional banking transactions. Firstly, cryptocurrency transactions are public. There's a public ledger called blockchain. Each cryptocurrency has its own blockchain, and there are viewers, explorers for this blockchain. Some of them are listed, such explorers, blockchain explorers, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple,
Dash, Zcash, Monero, Tron,
Monero, and lots of others. They're all public. Even Monero has its own explorer that allows you to get something.
Транзакция, как выглядит вообще
So how does a transaction look?
его
What does this
со сведений
explorer look?
совершенных нами транзакций.
Information about transactions that have been made are written there. Hash,
Транзакции, адрес
the unique ID, the time of transaction, the address of the sender, the address of the recipient, the amount transferred from one wallet to the other. All this data is recorded, and this way, the blockchain explorer gets new data about every transaction that has been made.
кошельков. То есть наличие на нем
And generalized information of every wallet is collected here. The amount of
использования,
funds,
информация.
brought forward balance, carried forward balance, and it looks like this.
Вот
If you take Bitcoin, for instance. So we have this information about a wallet.
в блокчейне биткоина, в обозревателе биткоина,
In blockchain explorer.
самое что я говорил,
So we have everything that I mentioned: the current balance,
использование
start date, end date, the
и так далее.
total number of transactions,
Входы, выходы,
repeated transactions, repeated input and outputs. So thanks to which you can get generalized information about the wallet. Say about the same thing in Ethereum, same time in Durov's Ton.
еще сведения
In Ton, additionally,
за
information about NFTs is shown. That NFTs that have been bought using the cryptocurrency. This could be stickers, phones, everything that's being bought and sold using the Ton currency.
входят так, как мы привыкли.
Groups of transactions in cryptocurrencies
Оператор
don't happen as we are used to in traditional banking transactions.
получатель и это.
In traditional banking transactions, there's a sender and there's a destination, and the transaction goes from the sender to the recipient in a transparent way for the bank. Here it happens differently. Transactions are actually processed in blocks. By the way, this is the reason why it's called blockchain, where transactions are merged and are processed together. This was a
Третьим отличием
convenient way for mining.
привычных нам банковских
The
транзакций
third difference from the traditional banking transactions is that the owners of digital financial assets,
как правило, скрыты.
as a rule,
В реестре в блокчейне не
covered.
И
So the information about them is not public and is not held in the ledger.
как мы все понимаем, мы
Banks, as we know,
счет давали паспорт,
you would come to a bank, you would present your ID, and the bank would know you, and the regulator, the central bank, would also have all the information about the owner of the bank accounts. In cryptocurrencies, this is not so. So therefore, the identification of cryptocurrencies is becoming an important target of investigation. Here,
один из кошельков, как
we are showing one of the wallets, which in blockchain, which is in Ethereum,
неизвестны.
and there's no information about the owner. We have to identify the owner.
Важной особенностью крипто
Finally, the fourth important difference of cryptocurrency compared to traditional banking transaction is that the number of addresses for our crypto wallet is not
кошелькам.
one. Well, there may be a huge number of them. So there's a big difference between the wallet and the number of addresses that you can create.
Злоумышленники
This has been actively used by bad guys. This was used in the Hydro exchange when after every transaction you were getting a new address.
дополнительный аноним.
And all the following transactions were going to the new address for additional anonymization.
Условной анонимности
So having this baggage
и
represented by conditional anonymity,
идентификации.
enforcement bodies had a desire to solve the problem of identifying crypto wallets. And forensic science has found several areas how it could be done. First way, by direct correlation between wallets and some specific entity, second, heuristic analysis, then the cluster analysis, and fourth, graph analysis. I don't think we're going
Этим всем
to
людям.
that we'll be discussing heuristic and graph analysis.
Они исключительно со
It's all about collecting and analyzing big data. Let me just give you a couple of simple examples. In order to identify who the wallet belongs to and to tag the wallets, we can, for instance,
который будет,
run an analysis
допустим, Алексей,
that will be like graph. For instance, we have a wallet of the
на этот кошелек.
anti-corruption fund, Navalny's anti-corruption fund wallet, and they are making transfers to the supporters of this organization. And so everybody who gets money from Navalny or who contributes to Navalny can be added to this community.
Исключительно математические методы,
So these are purely mathematical methods based on collection and analysis of big data. As to the direct correlation of wallets, which is of the highest interest for us, which also is part of OSINT.
следующие простые методы.
So this includes the following simple methods and techniques that we're going to discuss today: Google docking,
скорингов,
using the service of abuse, scoring, data leaks, analytic services, and AML KYC, know your customer procedures.
прямое соотнесение
So let's go one by one. Direct correlation.
биткоина, как правило, все
Regarding Bitcoin,
с него.
we usually start every investigation with this. So we have certain sources in store. They're listed here. For those who would like to build their own crypto service, please write down Wallet Explorer and Bitinfo charts. These are two internet resources shown in the screen. Each of these resources allows downloading already identified Bitcoin wallets as data arrays. So we download hundreds of thousands of cryptocurrency wallets. I think the total number is about 20 million, and implement the already identified wallets to financial institutions such as banks, exchange offices,
Иным сущностям
and other entities.
валютные кошельки. Ну вот эти сущности у нас здесь представлены.
So these entities are represented here. So exchange offices, pools, services, gambling, historic data, linked to some specific financial organizations. This is about the same thing. Here we can look for Binance code wallets and other information. So we've copied it, we collected it, and this gives us an opportunity of identifying a specific wallet based on the existing databases. There are multiple databases like that. Ethereum, for instance, has its own database. So in most cases, you won't even need to use an external source. They've already collected all this information. Second way, using Google docking. Google Docs are shown here at the bottom, the simplest and natural way to identify a cryptocurrency wallet or wallets, because in Docs we can use multiple cryptocurrency wallets in a request. So it would be to write the address of the cryptocurrency that we're investigation with the minus block logical operator. So we strike it out of the output of most cryptocurrency explorers. So by taking it out of the output, we get information about 1, 2, 3 objects of interest. If we have multiple cryptocurrency wallets, we just enter addresses of cryptocurrencies separated by vertical line, and then at the end put minus block. If we want to get information, we can also use logical operators cite.
Адрес криптовалютного кошелька, находя.
So we do cite and enter the address of the wallet. If we want to collect
приемов тоже служит
from the Google database, Google docking is also one of the tools. We can look for Google Sheets.
программ Bug Bounty.
We can
подобных.
We can look for participants in bug bounty programs. This data is public, and opening these sheets one by one, downloading, we will enrich our knowledge. These tables, these sheets will have the addresses of wallets, nicknames of the users, and their contacts in social media. So we can get some interesting results from there. Abuse and scoring, abuse control and scoring services.
Количество источников.
We have quite a lot of sources regarding abuse complaints, regarding Bitcoin and others.
Криптовалюта массово
And yes, cryptocurrencies are used en masse for fraudulent operations, for hacking, for drug-related
через
things, for abuse. So people are complaining
системы.
via third-party services and analytical systems. And these complaints are collected by aggregators, from them to some external third-party services. So by entering
Получим
the address of the cryptocurrency in such a system, we can get information that it contains about it. Why is it important to use this? Because these complaints quite often have contact data, contact details. For instance,
вредоносного программного обеспечения
researching
на адрес
an address of a cryptocurrency
данного вредоносного.
wallet when doing an investigation, you can find an email address. One cryptocurrency
Исследование никак
wallet
у нас гораздо
is never the target of an investigation. It's quite rarely that we have to deal with just one wallet.
связано с чем-то там, с электронной
The wallet, crypto wallet, is always connected with something,
какой-то.
with the website, with a blog, a complaint. There's always some additional content.
Нужно. Наконец, есть
So this is an important
Verifit, вы видите, других, которые
source of information. And finally, there are scoring services, Bitvariant and others.
органов пытаются
They try to score
основывать
cryptocurrencies based on public data
количество
and recommendations of different organizations,
всех транзакций, которые были с ними связаны.
based on the history of all transactions related to that wallet. For instance, if the wallet has made a transaction to Hydro or another marketplace related to drug trafficking, its
В негативном ключе
assessment will be negative. If it hasn't done anything bad, its scoring would be positive. Data leaks. There's been a lot of data leaks over the past few years, perhaps more than 500 only in Russia. I mean, the major ones. And information about these leaks must be collected.
использовать
The simplest way of using data leaks
активно
is related to the use of quite an old but very effective tool such as Archivarius 3000. You can load data in any format, and the system starts looking for the entities we need on its own.
строго
The data leaks are interesting in that you can use them to look for information not strictly by the wallet name, but by a lot of other parameters.
рода.
The nonlinearity of the database allows doing such requests.
И здесь, как правило,
And here, as a rule,
понимание
in the understanding of law enforcers, there are two dilemmas
могли идентифицировать
that they are facing: either a victory,
колоссальные деньги,
so that the wallet is identified,
долларов инвестиций,
and
говорят о том, что идентифицировать мы можем в популярной валюте не более 40% кошельков.
even the biggest optimists say that we can identify not more than 20 or 40 cryptocurrencies.
Продолжать расследовать.
So in most cases, we need to continue the investigation. And here we get an understanding that the cryptocurrency is not only important on its own, but what's important is the history of transaction. And this
Ничего не купите. Вам ее
And the history is about the cryptocurrency to be converted to fiat in most cases, because in most countries, such as in Russian Federation, you can't really spend cryptocurrency to buy anything. You have to convert it into rubles.
пусть даже он оценивается негативно, мы
So
заняться
having an empty wallet, even if it's
либо уходили.
rated as negative, we need to investigate the transactions
Учитывая
through
объем
it that were happening through it.
жизни,
You know, to visualize the number of the transactions, and it's becoming vital here.
потому что
So we're talking about graph analysis, but it's a vital necessity, because if a person is analyzing 100 entities in table format, but when there are thousands and tens of thousands of such items, human brain just can't handle it. And graph representation of data helps people to analyze this information. In order to visualize blockchains or the popular cryptocurrencies, you can use accessible open source software such as BlockPath. You can use different GitHub resources, and you can also use
на мониторе
additionally to start monitoring the cryptocurrency. And it's important. Cryptocurrency has been stolen from you, and so it got stuck in a separate crypto wallet.
начало движения.
Yeah, it got stuck there. So in order to track the following movement of this cryptocurrency, you need to start monitoring this wallet. And so these are the services that allow doing such monitoring. You enter the address of the crypto wallet, and as soon as movement started against this account, you're going to get a notification. Telegram as an SMS message or to your email. So how does it work? The screen now shows service
Я разрабатывал с ICP
that I developed, CICP.
криптокошелек.
So we start with a crypto wallet. This crypto wallet is related to a crime, stealing cryptocurrencies related to malware.
Соответственно,
So the first phase is for us wanting to know who was the victim. So we can load all the incoming transactions. So they happened at about the same time. And we see that there were like 11 cryptocurrencies that were victims of this crypto wallet. They all sent currency to this wallet.
уже смогли
And we started monitoring it.
после
Through this monitoring, we were able to track that the cryptocurrency first was transferred to one crypto wallet, then another, then the third crypto wallet, which we could identify.
для этого работает
This is the way
не
transaction analysis works.
криптокошелек.
So having no information about the sought after wallet, we need to track the transactions, track the chain of transactions to identify the financial organization through which the currency was withdrawn and converted into fiat. So after that, we send a request to this organization to get user information.
Еще одно расследование.
It works about the same way with other systems. This is another investigation. I think that was Hydro. It was one of the Hydro administrators, again, a crypto wallet and a direct branch to Binance to cash out. Another example,
Интересная история с
there was an interesting story with our famous
вексовским минером.
Vexer miner. Who doesn't know?
21 год минер
2019, 2020, 2021, putting bombs in schools, kindergartens, government institutions.
на тот момент
And it was done by some bad guy, unknown bad guy.
биткоин
This bad guy
олигарха Константина Малафеева
who
были переведены
got 120 bitcoins from the Orthodox oligarch Malafeev. And so this cryptocurrency
был
got into tracking. All transactions were investigated.
через Binance.
The conversion to fiat was identified, was detected again through Binance. But the important thing is that through the investigation of these transactions, we found a crypto wallet
Еще криптовалюты,
where
внешний
cryptocurrency was credited from external illegal
Размоталась
activity
цепочка.
related to a virus. And this way we can find the whole chain.
Жив много не...
So this is the reason why I'm saying that just one
Даже
crypto wallet is not enough. As I remember, BBC reporters interviewed this miner. They understood that his name is Sergey, that he lives in Ukraine, that he's an owner of hard currency service, that he lost those 120 bitcoins in the VEX
буквально
exchange. And using that data,
лицо никакого
it took us just a month to identify the person. And of course, this person had no relation to putting bombs in Russian Federation. The following, it was just a legend.
цепочка.
And the following analysis was confirmed by later investigation. This legend was used by special services. And so this is the chain bringing us to the Cryptoware hackers group. So the leaks from other hackers group, Beregini and other pro-Russian hackers group, helped us identify that this was all initiated by Center 83 of the Center of PSYOPs of Ukraine, because we had this coincidence of transactions here and here, and it was brought together here in Bainan. We could identify that all these activities were conducted by Ukraine's special services. This was a little investigation that was reported by RT. I think reporters shot a report about that. So we visualized, we collected the data, and then we get sophisticated analytical services as a stage in any information system. Talking about the Western market, then the recognized leaders are Crystal, Chain Analysis, Elliptic, CipherTrace, and some others, more or less large services that are quite effective. In Russia, as you understand, everything is not as good, but nevertheless, we do have something. There's something we can list. Firstly, let me brag a bit. I was the first to do it in Russia. After we built CICP, we got a transparent blockchain developed by Rosfin Monitoring, which was not in operation for another year or two. Then we can mention SHAD, the Russian service, and the services that we can use freely, connecting over the internet, maybe in certain places with VPN, OST, breadcrumbs, and Ethdetective. So Ethereum.
Вы решите, как задать использование следующего сервиса.
And using these services, you can do investigations related to cryptocurrencies. Apart from visualizing cryptocurrency transactions, they allow identifying intermediate crypto wallets based on their own database.
Которому мы привязаны.
Let me explain why we need that. So we have this initial crypto wallet. We need to find the endpoint. So without this endpoint, without an identified user linked to a legal financial institution, we won't be able to stop the investigation. This will just be an infinite chain of transactions. As soon as found the endpoint linked to a financial organization, we can send that organization a request, and we can consider our investigation complete. Without it, we won't be able to identify. As to other services that can be used to analyze the transaction chains, we can mention Maltego, the Interpol module for Maltego. It's available on GitHub, ASINT-Buddy, and my favorite system for OSINT in general, it's the spreadsheets. The best, I think, system that you can set up in a very flexible way and connect to it through APIs in any way possible.
нашу финансовую организацию.
After we have identified the financial organizations through which the cryptocurrency was legalized, we connect to it
От правоохранительных
and
And
send a
we
request
request the
from the enforcement bodies.
authorities or government bodies.
представлена практика, то есть существующая таблица
And here is the practice, so the table
с наиболее популярными
explaining the connections and formats of
представленными.
how we can collaborate with the most
Формат сработан,
prominent cryptocurrency exchange.
поэтому
The exchange is working.
которые занимаются мошенничеством, хакерством,
People
используют
who
и думают,
participate in the fraud, hacking, or use the cryptocurrencies
на бирже снимают, ничего подобного.
and think that they're protected by the fact that they
Мониторинг, причем Росфинмониторинг это еще
receive money via cryptocurrency exchange.
другими финансовыми.
They are not actually protected because the authorities will get the information about the user.
Что это за информация?
So what is this information?
Все,
Here you go.
потому что все это, конечно, жуткая персона,
Course.
что
Everything is
которую представляет биржа.
painted black because of that personal data.
Что
So,
такое
as part of the AML KYC, anti-money laundering,
KYC, процедура «Знай своего клиента»,
KYC, know your client.
в рамках которой финансовые
As part of this procedure, financial institutions gather the information about their user. And what is
доходов и финансирования терроризма.
part of that? In Russia, it's anti-fraud also
Рождение,
processes.
сведения о пользователе, включая уникальные
Surname, name,
паспортные данные,
family name, passport data, identifiers,
фотографии,
separate photo with the passport, and photo of the passport, full log of
или кошелькам,
the
которые
transactions
на площадке
to
с данными,
the
данными
wallet
адресов,
that is on
данными
the platform with IP addresses, geolocation,
список
and
выполнений и
all of the wallets that
транзакций. То
the
есть
person possesses,
достаточно
and all the financial transactions. So it's enough information to identify anyone.
Кроме тех случаев еще существуют прямые
Apart from those cases, there are direct agreements with specific cryptocurrency exchanges.
в рамках которых можно даже
As part of those,
обмены между пользователями P2P.
you can actually even track the P2P
В обменник Bit
exchanges between the users. For example, in BitZlata, with BitZlata, you can send a request saying that
обмен
those two users will arrange an exchange. Despite the fact that this exchange is peer-to-peer,
находится на
BitZlata controls the personal data of
это
the
правоохранительное.
users and thus can send it to the authorities. So pretty much everyone does it.
Что я еще обещал рассказать, как
What else?
арестовываются криптовалютные
I promised to
представлен классический
explain how cryptocurrency wallets
колония.
can be arrested.
Это в 21 году
Colonial Pipeline, a very famous case of 2021, Russian hackers
компания,
that broke the company that
перегон нефтепродуктов по территории Соединенных Штатов.
transfers the oil
Печали,
inside United States. There was a huge crisis. Biden went to
ездил директор,
Russia and Switzerland. Bortnikov, FSB director, went to him and they reached some agreement. So the case was
пайплайн,
researched very easily. Here is Colonial Pipeline
валютные средства и дальше
wallet, and they sent to the dark side,
из миксеров
and then they use one of the mixers to
и вообще Америка.
obfuscate the transaction.
Сервисов
Because FBI and America has a lot of
идентифицирован
services to track it. Then the mixer was identified,
и
and the owner of the mixer was identified. Thus, the cryptocurrency was transferred
принадлежал
to a wallet that belonged
расследование ФБР. Это
to FBI and was used by FBI.
криптокошелек,
So here is how the cryptocurrency is arrested.
токен, будь то
They are either
а,
arrested as physical object, token of paper.
финансовые организации, но сейчас это
It's arrested on external service
в организации есть
of a
международное
financial organization
законодательство еще.
because there's international
Не факт, что наши правоохранители
organizations. They
написали все необходимые бумаги для того,
take it, but of course it's a slow process. Not always the authorities have enough time to make it happen,
чтобы куда-то перевести. Поэтому
especially if they need to transfer the funds from the wallet to somewhere else.
Криптовалютный кошелек.
Often, the authorities would register a wallet and send the cryptocurrency
Этот кошелек
to the specific to that wallet.
и может быть
And it is part of the legal proceedings and
криптовалюта может
can be arrested.
после продажи в доход государству.
So the cryptocurrency can even be turned into
Работа
the government funds.
либо
For
задержанный
that,
преступник добровольно предоставляет доступ к криптокошельку,
either the criminal provides the access to the
взламывает
crypto wallet,
количество
or it's identified and hacked
форензики.
through GitHub products by the forensic specialist. Regarding anonymity,
Анализировать наши финансовые
to anonymize transactions,
используют три основных
the actors would often use three main ways.
прямой
First, as a very poor one,
как
is a direct exchange
разобрали, что есть
of cryptocurrency at some financial organization site.
обмены между пользователями, также контролируют
KYC and AML, of course,
прямой одной
makes it impossible. So if you exchange one cryptocurrency to another on, for example, Binance, this will not give anything to the actor.
такая
The
себе
second one is the cryptocurrency mixer. But still not a very good idea because
графового и кластерного анализа.
we can use graph analysis and cluster analysis if we control all the crypto wallets in the blockchain.
Даты начинаем пополнять.
By analyzing the big data,
Так
we
работает
can fill up the
другой.
mixer's pool.
Если мы контролируем
All the services like Crystal
большую часть кошельков относительно
work like this. So if we know most of the wallet
миксеру, то мы можем
that work within the mixer,
и о других.
we
Загнав
can get the information about the other one.
деньги,
By
грязь,
putting dirty money into the mixer, those bitcoins will spoil
таким
most of
использованием миксеров, оно очень
the wallets that were used
криптокошельков.
as part of the mixing. So this requires a lot of
Не в каждой
crypto wallet, and they become dirty very fast. So
эфириуме, например,
mixers are not effective in some blockchains like Ethereum,
на контакт
and many mixers would work with the authorities.
использования
So a more effective way is
анонимных криптовалют. Ну да, вот
to
они.
use anonymous cryptocurrencies.
Из них самый анонимный считается Monero. Другие до
The
70%,
most anonymous is Monero.
до 70% транзакций проводят также в
Others use up to 70% of transactions in the public domain, so they can be identified. Monero identification
Но пока
is
серьезно.
possible, that's scientifically proven, but
Американцы
we
заявили,
don't have any practical case on that. Americans have
идентификация.
given a grant for $500,000
Это
for someone to create the identification method for
сказать,
Monero.
постепенно закругляться и переходить к вашим вопросам.
So we will be finishing this presentation shortly, but a popular case with Bitcoin, we have the
Криптокошелек.
need to identify the crypto wallet.
Нет, вру. У нас есть необходимость собрать сведения о
Imagine we have a need to gather the information about
получаемой криптовалюта биткоин
whether the cryptocurrency
в рамках
transaction is good or it needs to go through AML, or is it breaking the AML?
блокчейна узнать,
We can use the public blockchain information to know who sent the money to our wallet.
соответственно, в той части. И когда мы узнали отправителя, мы,
Here's our wallet.
любой из
And when we know the sender, we
усмотрения
just use any of them.
и минус блок плюс скам.
Minus block plus scam in Google.
Вычеркивать все публичные
So
блокчейны
it removes all public blockchains
в связи с упоминанием скам. И мы находим
and start to find all the information about
сколько
this crypto wallet being used for scam.
получить.
So here are the two pieces of news
Было в ветках
with information about this crypto wallet discussed
действия.
on Reddit, and it was mentioned
Придут
as
грязь.
part of the fraud. So the
Очень
result is negative.
много про то, что
For
накапливается
Ethereum,
таблицы
we
с
talked a lot about public tables with crypto wallets as part of bug bounty.
идентифицированными кошельками. Вот один из примеров. Нам нужно идентифицировать
One of the examples is we need to identify the
Вводим
email
в
or
электронной почты, ищем этот адрес.
wallets connected with this email. So we can put this request in Google, and we get 3 results. One of them is directly leading us to Bitcoin talk
Криптокошелек.
that mentions the desired Ethereum wallet and Bitcoin wallet. We see the Twitter account and the name of the person,
Что нужно.
of the owner of this wallet. This is all we need to identify successfully.
Обозреватель блокчейна Ethereum, мы можем исследовать,
Then we go to visualizer and we can
сколько нам здесь
analyze the incoming and outgoing transactions of this wallet.
сокращается.
A more interesting story,
Увеличивается
the share of Bitcoin is less,
Охватывает стейбл.
Ethereum is
В том числе
growing, stable coins, including USDT.
части висит на блокчейне
There are
Ethereum,
2
на блокчейне.
parts. One of
Если
them is within Ethereum, one of them is within Tron.
то с Троном все
Ethereum is visualized.
существует
You
исключительно
can visualize the transactions, but with Tron, it's not possible.
в формате представления.
It exists only as that of table. So to visualize, we use Meltego,
Постепенно сущности об искомых криптокошельках.
and we add the entities
Вымогательных
for
денежных средств.
desired crypto wallets. So here are the wallets that were used for scam.
Посмотреть транзакции,
We can load them. We can have a look at the transactions.
биржи,
We can
с плательщиком, этим вымогателем.
find the exchanges that were paying and the users of the exchanges that were paying.
Как
And
осуществлялся.
we can also
И
find the outgoing transaction.
с обоих веток, с обоих криптокошельков
So we see that
приводили нас
all
к двум криптокошелькам де-факто
the transactions lead up to just 2 crypto wallets being used in a Whitebit crypto exchange abroad,
на получение пользовательских данных.
where we requested the user data.
Кошелек промежуточный проверяет
And of course, using a SINT to check the intermediate wallet
о том, что
allows us to gather open data about the wallet in the
Facebook
transaction chain,
и электронный
mentioning it in Facebook, mentioning the email even for
вымогаемый
the user
криптовалюты
that was
для
receiving the scammed cryptocurrency to finance Ukrainian forces.
Четвертый пример — это тон, классика жанра.
Example number 4 is TON,
Очень интересный, очень
very classical approach, very interesting, and it's really interesting for a SINT.
у тона есть собственный
TON has its
визуализатор,
own service.
собственный сервис, который представляет сведения о
There's
криптокошельках,
no visualizer, but there's an information service
информацию
giving information about not only the transactions and the general information about the wallet, but also everything
номера телефонов.
that was all the nicknames that were bought, phone numbers, NFT tokens. And there's even a platform called Fragment,
Токенов, никнеймов.
where all the sales of tokens and nicknames takes place.
Имея какой-то
So accordingly, by having a
имея кошелек, который что-то покупал, мы можем зафиксировать,
wallet that was buying something, we can identify
пусть он
purchase of the phone number.
определенную информацию, он
Even if it's virtual, it gives us some information.
покупает никнеймы для того, чтобы
Buy nicknames to resell
для того, чтобы там сделать, может быть, канал либо
or
личных.
to use it
В данном случае
for the channel,
никнейм, привязанный к конкретному
maybe for personal use. We have a nickname connected to a user's account. It was purchased and used by the real user.
различные боты для того, чтобы по этому никнейму установить ID
We can use the bots
телефона
to identify the ID and the phone number of the owner of this nickname,
валютного кошелька.
and of course the crypto wallet too.
Подведем итоги.
So,
Самое главное, что хотелось бы
to sum up,
донести, это то, что
the main thing I wanted to highlight is that you can research the crypto wallet,
они в
and
расследовании
it's very useful.
необходимо.
They're being used in the research quite often,
Они являются единственным
and they are never
звеном.
the only proof
Всегда есть
as part of the investigation. You always need some extra information.
и анализ
Crypto wallets can be part of a smart contract, and you can analyze the whole smart contract,
в блогах,
and it can be mentioned on websites, Telegram channels,
кошельки могут
wherever there are any additional information about the user, they can be sent through email, for example, for scam operations, ransomware operation,
могут быть
and
напрямую связаны с определенными
they can be
прямо
connected to
ими.
real people who don't even hide them. To use it, use a SINT to analyze that. Stay hungry, stay foolish,
Интересующимися.
stay interested in what
Вопрос.
kind of. Thank you very much. Your contact, your questions are very welcome. Thank you.
Включите.
Please turn on the mic.
Есть.
Да. Здравствуйте, меня зовут Александр. Спасибо большое за доклад.
Hi, my name is Alexander. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Мне показалось, что
I felt that
современных
you
и в связи
did not
ряд вопросов, значит,
highlight all the modern aspects
имеет отношение
of
к сложному, начну так скажем.
this area. But starting from
Является
simple things, do you know
так,
if
вот что вы скажете. Прозрачный блокчейн и шард, по-моему, это
the transparent
там,
blockchain and shard
одни и те же ребята. Ну, я просто
is the same people?
Известно ли вам об этом что-нибудь? Это раз.
Do you know anything about it?
Того, как уходит запрос на Binance, и, ну, в случае, там, я кейс
No.
расскажу. То есть, так,
Request to Binance,
были украдены деньги, были они отслежены, они ушли
the same scenario,
в малазийский обменник.
going to Malaysian exchange,
Запрос
transferred to Binance, then we sent a request to Binance.
от органов
We,
и
of course, wanted
с этим заявлением.
to
Какую-нибудь
get a request from
заявлением вы рассказали. А какие дальнейшие действия? Как
the authorities.
МВД дотянется до этого малазийского
So how do the authorities access
собственно, анонимизации?
that Malaysian entity?
Мне просто интересно ваше мнение.
Also for anonymization,
И CoinJoin.
Cash and CoinJoin.
Социальные
What are,
своего рода.
because they have this social mixture, what are the ways of working with them?
Там прозрачный блокчейн и шард просто там был
Transparent blockchain and shard
учредитель.
were used
В публичном поле прошло, что
to
Фин или
identify the owners,
было в одной
and there was an FNS tender,
там, в общем-то, прозрачный.
and
И все это
information
та же кухня, либо
was like
с Фин.
shard is
Смотрите, давайте погрузимся в историю.
the receiver of funds.
18-й год.
Okay, so let's
И
talk about the story.
занимаются на
We
момент
are 2018 summer,
сервиса российского для анализа криптовалюты. Я
and the Russian service to analyze the cryptocurrency is
первый.
done by me and Russian Financial Monitoring Authority,
У Института Лебедева, насколько я помню.
ordering the work from the Lebedev Institute.
Принимают себе 31 декабря
They receive the service,
1 декабря 2018 года ставят на вооружение. Смешно.
they
Происходило в 7 часов вечера. Понятно, 31 декабря никто этим не занимался. Потом
accept it,
в ноябре
and in about a year,
происходит конференция.
in November of 2019, there's a conference in the Ministry of Interior,
Лапки
and he had to
не соответствует.
actually say that the service does not work
Почему не
because it doesn't comply to the requirement.
Мы встречались с Росфинмониторингом, показывали, что у нас
And we worked with Russian Financial Monitoring. We showed what we have.
на встрече Чеханчин
There was a meeting with Vladimir Chekhanchin and Vladimir Putin,
второй раз
where the second development was presented by
являются
T1.
Шарда выходцами из Т1, не знаю.
Are the short guys, the guys from T1? I don't know.
Такой сервис, даже вот основываясь на
Because creating such a service, even based on this presentation, is quite
идентифицированных кошельков, дорки и
couple of APIs, DORC,
достаточной
some cryptocurrencies. And you have enough to do the research.
по 700 миллионов, не совсем
Why do we spend 700 millions for something? Maybe something
как-то
unique or artificial intelligence.
Да. Я тоже общался. Вот здесь
Well, I also talked to them,
тема называется «Основы исследования криптовалют».
but
То, что
the topic is the basics of crypto research. Of course, what we teach to
был по...
the authorities is a little bit more complex.
Да. Отвечу вам
Second, the question about what should we do?
этот вопрос. А черт его знает.
I don't know. With all my competence.
Идентифицировали.
Identifying
По устоявшимся
is done.
уголовное дело, если оно не заведено.
Then you can start the legal prosecution,
Кажется,
use Interpol International
и тогда его задержат.
police, and at some point in time the person will appear in a friendly country and maybe
Не владею этим
he
вопросом.
will be
Не могу сказать, что они там
arrested.
предоставляют ли.
About everybody else, I don't know.
Мгм.
Это некий пул адресов, они по большому счету. То есть эти адреса, которые в Торнадо Кэш или
The addresses in Tornado Cash or Engine, it's a community.
то есть они все эти микшуют, условно говоря, ну,
They
это и
mix all their wallets,
кошельков это такой же другой пользователь по сути своей.
Мгм.
and each and every wallet is just a separate user.
Ну,
So
задача
how
правоохранителей
do you tackle this? Well,
договориться о
it's
работе и
the work of the
стараются очень активно делать.
authorities to find the connection.
Договориться, как мы уже
The
видели.
FBI was able to
Пози-
reach an agreement with BitMEX for Colonial Pipeline case.
Первая рука была, потом вторая.
Здравствуйте, спасибо большое за доклад. Кардиков.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. Kardikov Yuri from EcoSet.
В криптовалюте
As far as I understand, there's no anonymity in cryptocurrency,
цепочки можно
and you can actually
обмен валют на другой.
monitor the transactions,
Соответственно,
and
реестр
exchanging cryptocurrencies does not help.
можно отследить транзакцию до момента
So you can always find the transaction before it
первое
goes to some
криптовалюта как
exchange, right?
публичного реестра.
So, first of all, are there cryptocurrencies without the public registry?
Когда
Second,
биржа, как бы они идут
if you have an identified
в другой юрисдикции находятся.
exchange, do they contact you? Do they work with you? Or if they are in another jurisdiction, they don't reply to the questions from Russia?
Закрытые криптовалюты были всегда и есть и будут. Другой
Well, there were always closed cryptocurrencies, but their liquidity and
Поэтому мы работаем
their
правоохранитель с массовым сегментом.
visibility does not make often sense. The fact that some hacker sends through Monero or some anonymous cryptocurrency the money to the other hacker, it's just one crime.
Начнет делать то же
But the
самое.
fact that a lot of
Миллион.
actors
Поэтому
run
всегда будет
this through Bitcoin
дело.
gives you an ability to, close millions of cases. So that's why we focus on the biggest flow. And of course, we will work more with the partners who provide the information about the crypto wallet. So we work more and more, and the scientific community will find ways to identify the anonymous cryptocurrency wallet owners.
А дайте микрофон, пожалуйста.
Can you give us the mic for the next question, please?
Здравствуйте, спасибо за
Hello, thank you.
Порошин Ярослав,
Great presentation, Yaroslav
Питер.
Roshan, ITMO University in St. Pete.
То, что вот
Please tell us
проходит
the
через
consequences of the cryptocurrency getting into the mixer
Вот
and
так сложилось, что моя криптовалюта тоже каким-то образом запачкана.
spoiling everything around. Imagine my
Такого плохого.
transaction, my cryptocurrency is
Чем это чревато?
spoiled by that transaction.
Ну, нет, ничего.
Замял.
You just bought a couple of doses?
Ничего.
Yes? No, of course. Only for personal use. Okay.
Летать. Естественно,
Don't
не надо ничего незаконного совершать. Не надо
do anything against the law. Don't
взламывать.
buy narcotics. Don't hack anyone. Don't sell arms or
Но при этом просто в своих вот изыскательных
human parts.
пользовался миксером.
Well,
И
For example, I use the mixer just for research, and my cryptocurrency is spoiled
вместе с моей
because the same mixer had some illegal transactions that I have nothing to do with.
Факторы риска, да ничем не грозит.
What is
С,
the danger to me?
для того, чтобы
Well, not really. There's no tools to detect this with high quality and identify you. The mixer will not usually give you data.
популярный, западный. Поэтому пока спите спокойно, лет 10 еще.
So for now, you
Хорошо.
can be
А вот еще у вас,
relaxed about 10 years.
можно быстренько, у вас была схема с Colony,
Had a
в конечном счете,
team with Colony,
валюта на адрес ФБРовца.
and you said that the cryptocurrency goes to
Не очень понятно,
the authority.
каким образом она туда попадает.
What is the way it gets there?
Немножко.
How
Но в случае
is it
пайплайн
transferred? Well, with Colonial Pipeline, the mixer
добровольно.
and the cryptocurrency fell
Злоумышленник
to the FBI.
специально
The actor can also send
может
the cryptocurrency.
судебное
The
решение.
researcher can do it. There's the legal decision. The cryptocurrency is
В финансовое учреждение,
extorted from you, and
оно на кошелек
then
заявляется в уголовный
it's being sent
лежащий.
to the wallet that belongs to the authorities. Please,
У нас последний вопрос.
Да, добрый
is the last question.
обзор.
Hello, thank you for the overview.
После дополнения есть еще Arkham
One addition, there's Arkham Intelligence, a very popular solution that's being developed.
в разных
It
сетях.
visualizes in different networks
Дополнение. А по
the
вопросу,
transactions,
что
and you can research very naturally.
валютных кошельков
And regarding the crypto
существуют
wallet scoring, what are the models of
решения?
scoring those wallets? And maybe you used some of them to
И второй вопрос.
staff the crypto one.
То есть сейчас
And second question, what about taxes?
законодательная
We
база
currently don't have any
уже в
legal base to tax this, but
Правильно ли я понимаю, что со временем
all that data is available.
придем к тому, что законы не
Am I getting this right? That with time we will have the needed laws, and all the
так когда-то и
people that got rich
сия
and thought that
чаша, они
they will not have to pay taxes, they will have to
обогащение,
pay for their
верно ли это?
previous
Естественно, дело Барановское, оно что же не сразу возникло?
profit. Well, of course, Baranovska case was not
Она внезапно обнаружила, что торчит государство 125 миллионов. Вдруг неожиданно.
surprised.
Ну, так и все владельцы криптовалют.
It's of course what she is telling, that she owned the government 900 million, but
Поздно,
in
конечно.
reality, I understand this was a long process, and with time, this will happen.
Государству 1100 или миллион. Извольте
Like you own the government, 100,000 or a million, please
данных.
pay it. For that, we need to spend some time accumulating the data.
Нет, система уплаты налогов есть. Пожалуйста, вы можете
Look, for taxes, you can definitely pay.
вопрос.
There's no problem. The tax office
Там, берите среднее.
says, you just calculate the average cost in the market on popular exchanges,
И забрать, и заплатить налоги вообще.
and so you can pay taxes. The tax office is very much supporting it.
По поводу скоринга
And regarding the scoring model,
ориентиры здесь, соответственно,
well, we were creating our own one, and
страны. Какие требования?
we were aiming at the tax office of a specific country. It depends also on the central bank and part as an international regulator.
Скоринг.
You base on those three, and this is how
Искусственный
you create your scoring system.
в своих решениях.
One more question: do you use AI?
Вещи.
Well, there's service, there are
Там где угодно.
more things. AI is now being put everywhere. Mostly, AI is just great database.
Большое. Нужно выбрать вопрос, который больше всего понравился.
Thank you very much. You need to choose the question that you like the most.
Вопрос очень интересный был. Спасибо.
Very interesting question. Yeah. Thank you.